טוב שמך, הטוב שמך, ולך נאה להודות.
We continue now with Sedekrat HaTorah, the service for reading the Torah, which can be found on page 244.
Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai v'kemaasecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'hador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai himloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Al harachamim heitiva v'tzoncha et Zion timneh chomot Yerushalayim ki v'chad levad batachnu melech el ram benisa adon olamim.
246.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, udvar Adonai mirushalayim, baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai iti, Uneromema Shemo Yachtav, Lecha Adonai hagedula ve'hagevura ve'atiferet ve'hanetzach ve'hahod. Ki chol bashamayim uvaretz, ki chol bashamayim uvaretz, lecha Adonai hamamlacha ve'amit nahasei lechol rosh. Romemu, Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, ve'hishtachavu, ve'hishtachavu, lahadom raglav kadoshu. Romemu, Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, ve'hishtachavu, ve'hishtachavu, lehar kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
Please be seated. Shelley Duncan will be chanting Torah for us. And, yes. Now, he's chanting too?
I'll do the pre and post.
All right. Pre and post.
Sports term.
God, I forgot how it starts.
If you want to follow along, by the way, with all of these things, the blessings are on 250 in your Siddur.
Yes.
We're in the Torah portion of Lech Lecha, which is chapter 12. Yep. So chapter 12. Chapter 12. It's Genesis.
Shelley will be chanting 72 verses.
No, I'm chanting one, Cantor is chanting the other.
I'm not chanting anything. I'm not chanting anything. Whatever you do, you
I was
do.
practicing the other day, and I was like, I'm not good enough.
Shelley's chanting one word.
Are we ready?
Yes. Wait, no.
It's Lech Lecha. Lech Lecha, chapter 12. I'm not giving you a page number. This is not your first time here. I'm not giving you a page number. It's chapter 12. Chapter 12. Chapter 12. Verse 1 is where we're starting. Lech Lecha. That's where we're starting. Yamod Chesed ben Rachel alei Torah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Barach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam vaed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayomer Adonai el Avram lech lecha me'artzecha mimoladetecha umibeit avicha el haaretz asher arecha ve'escha legoy gadol va'avarecha Va'agadla shamecha v'chyei baracha va'avarcha mivarchecha. I'm too quiet.
You're doing great.
You're doing great.
Ani Adonai Elohim.
Okay.
She's doing the whole time.
I
No,
did.
you were fantastic. You did so well.
You said one verse. You did 3 verses.
Yeah.
You did 2 3/4.
Yeah. Oh, we almost got it. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
You know, next week I'll do that. Next year you do it. Next year you do it.
Thank you.
We're going to raise and dress the Torah. Good you're standing. Neil, we definitely need you for the for this honor, in honor of being a grandpa.
No. Yeah. No. Oh.
The whole thing looks new. I think we got a brand new one.
No.
It's just all the way to the left again.
Yeah, it's all on the left.
I'm tired.
V'zot haTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe.
Please be seated. So, you know who this person is? So will you let him in and then be on the alert? I don't know. It says oh, it's blinded. So it's fine. Okay, friends, we are in the Torah portion of Lech Lecha. So hold your spot right where you are because we're in Lech Lecha. And then I just want you to go back a little bit into chapter 11. And I want you to go to 11:22. So hold your spot because we're going to be back here in a moment. But we're going to start at 11:22. 11:22. Chapter 11, verse 22. 11:22. Chapter 11, 22. Thing. 11:22. You can't be very far. It's probably like 15 pages away, because. Or you can go to 11:22. That also works. Nope. That is not correct. It's on page 20 in my book. It's on page 20 in my book. So I have a different book than you. This is why it's better to do by the verse and chapter and verse. I'm just saying. 50-50 on the words. No, the words are the same. Yeah, that's true. Yes. All right. Let's do our blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Okay, please, take it away.
Which part?
22.
22.
Yeah.
Serug had lived 30 years when he begot Nahor. After begetting Nahor, Serug lived 200 years, and he begot sons and daughters. Nahor had lived 29 years when he begot Terah. After begetting Terah, Nahor lived 119, and he begot sons and daughters. Terah had lived 70 years when he begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. This is the chronicle of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran begot Lot. Then Haran died in the presence of Terah, his father, in the land of his birth, in Ur of the Chaldeans.
Chaldeans. Yes.
Then Abram and Nahor took wives. Abram's wife was named Sarai, and Nahor's wife was named Milcah, daughter of Haran, father of Milcah and of Yiscah. And Sarai was barren; she had no offspring. Then Terah took his son Abram and his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, and they all left Ur of the Chaldeans to go to the land of Canaan. But they got as far as Haran and settled there. The years of Terah's life came to 205. Then Terah died in Haran.
Okay, thank you for reading all of that begot section. I'm so sorry to make you do that, but we had to do it to get here. So, why start here? What did we just read? Yes. So it's all the begot sections, and you're welcome that I didn't, because the whole section prior is also begots. So it just was just a small begot section. Thank you for doing that. So yes, so there we got the origin story, and we get Abram. This is clearly the end. Remember, how many generations are there between Adam and Noach? 10. How many generations are there between Noach and Abram? 10. So this is clearly it's showing us the ending of those 10 generations, because it's bringing us to meet Abram and the origin of who his father was. So who's Abram's father? Terah. Right, good. So, and then who are his brothers? He has brothers. Who are Abram's brothers? Nachon and Haran. Good. Yes. So these are, so now we have a sense of his family. This is his father. These are his brothers. Where did they live? In Ur. They lived in Ur, is what? So if you like mapped, if you used Google Maps to find Ur, you wouldn't find it. It would probably take you somewhere in the vicinity of, I'm going to get this wrong, but I'm going to go big vicinity, West Iran into eastern Iraq, in that like area. That's like probably Ur-ish. That's where Ur was. And so they're not that far away, right? So, I mean, it's far from that perception for them, but for us, it's not terribly far. That's probably around where Ur was, yes. Right, yeah, who's Haran? Haran is Abram's brother, one of two of his brothers. He has two other brothers. He has Nahor and Haran. Haran is also a place that we'll find out later, but at this point, it's a guy. It's a man. It's a guy. No, it's Haran. Haran. Yes. So, they live in Ur of the Chaldeans. This is the vicinity, and we find out, by the way, that Abram is married. Who is he married to? Sarai. Nice. Yay. Okay. We also find out that we're just going to not totally focus on this completely very much, but there's related a little bit, but we're going to not focus on that. So, okay. So, yes. And then we find out the last bits. We find out about Terach, and he passes, and then this brings us all the way to the origin story of Abram. Now, what's the really famous story that we know about Abram and his father? The idols, right? What's the very famous story of the idols? What's the idol story? Remember the idol story?
He supposedly broke all the idols because they were...
Broke the idols of where? Whose idols?
Terah.
Yes, yeah, right. So right, Terach was an idol maker. He was an idol maker, and he's a very popular, very large shop. And probably, by the way, because we'll deduce later on, based on the way that Abram moves, he was wealthy. And probably because his father had an idol shop, and probably it was a nice idol shop because... Yeah, I mean, they were idol worshippers. They were idol worshippers. So clearly, there's nothing else up until now. So it was only idol worshippers, and so he owned an idol. It doesn't specifically say he was an idol worshiper. It just says that his father. It doesn't also say, by the way, his father was an idol worshiper. It just says his father was an idol maker. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you're an idol worshiper in the same way that there are pig farmers in Israel. So they don't necessarily eat those pigs, but they're pig farmers because maybe it's their vocation. So just as a side note. So let's not talk about pig farms in Israel right now. I didn't mean to bring us into that mess. So we presume that's where it comes from. But it's one of the most famous stories of all time. It's in Midrash HaGadol. It's not in the text. We're not going to find in the Torah. It's in Midrash HaGadol. If you're interested in the citation, I can give it to you. It's Midrash HaGadol, chapter 12, verse 1. You can look for it some other time if you'd like. And so, great. We got the setup story. We feeling good about it? Yes.
Well, I think the other big thing is the fact that his wife is barren.
Yes. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So, yes, we find out in this little tiny itsy bitsy bit about Sarai is that she's barren. What does that mean for us? If we remember, what's the formulaic equation for she is barren?
Somebody goes to the well and it gets better.
Well, that's the well. That's the well formula. What's the formula for she's barren? What does that equal automatically in the Bible? She's going to be pregnant. She's going to get pregnant. The child is going to be a boy, and the boy is going to be famous. Yes, the boy's going to be famous. It's an automatic. Anywhere in the Bible, if the woman is barren and the Torah goes on to say that she's barren, that means that automatically, baby, boy, famous. That is a guarantee structural system that is in the Bible. I didn't write it, but that's just how it goes. So thank you for bringing that up. It's a very important point. Okay, good. Origin story, feeling good. leave Noach alone now, because that was the end of Noach. Leave it alone. Let's come back to Lech Lecha, which is chapter 12, which is where we were before. Okay. Ready? Here we go.
The Eternal One said to Abram, "Go forth from your land, your birthplace, your father's house, to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, and it shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will pronounce doom on those who curse you. Through you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed." So Abram went forth as the Eternal had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran.
Okay, thank you. Nice. So, what do we know so far, based on all of that, about this very big story? Yes? Yes. God is saying, Lech Lecha. That's what the Torah portion is. It is very difficult to define Lech Lecha. It's a grammatical odd. It's go forth in a literary sense. Grammatically, in the weeds, it's a weird construct grammatically. Lech means go. Lecha means for you, for yourself. So go for yourself is a weird grammatic construct, even in Hebrew and English. So it's almost, if you take it literally though, it's like go for yourself, like for yourself, take on this journey. It's not just only going to be for you, it's going to be for all of us. So you have to play with the literary construct of it, but it's interesting. Okay.
We don't know why God chose Abram.
Right. Thank you. Great question. So, of all the people on the earth, we just found out that his father, well, we don't know, it's in the Midrash, that his father is an idol worshiper. We got the whole line. We just got it. We just heard it. Why this guy? Why not Nachor, by the way, his brother? Why not Haran? Why does it have to be Abram? Yes?
Because Abram was the one who was questioning who was the true God.
Okay, that's a possibility. We don't know that necessarily. It doesn't say it, but yes, that's a possibility that maybe he was a questioner. We will find out, by the way, that you're right, that he is a questioner, and that's maybe it's God, so God knows backwards and forwards. So maybe this is why God knows to choose Abram, but we don't know this in the linear passage of the story. We don't necessarily know. But you're right. We're going to find out that he pushes. Yeah, one and then two. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, Ron, go ahead.
Because he listens.
But,
Much like the story, Moses in the burning bush.
uh-huh.
The bush was there, but nobody saw it.
Nice. Okay, so it's possible that God has been having this attempted conversation with thousands of people over who knows how long, and it's Abram that says, what does Abram say? What does Abram do? Essentially, it doesn't even say. What does Abram do? Yeah, he does it. So it's possible, an interesting point, that maybe this conversation was had with so many people, and people were like, "You want me to do what? You want me to pack up where? I'm not going anywhere. I'm doing great. It's great. Look, I got a great shop here. I'm making the idols. Idols are great. I'm buying them. The wood ones, the metal ones. I'm killing it. I'm not leaving." And maybe it's Abram that says, "Oh, okay, this feels right, possibly." Yeah.
Just to build off of that, I was reading a midrash on Thursday that said that Adam and Noah both were also monotheistic because they listened to God and what his instructions were.
Sure.
And I'm not going to get too far ahead of ourselves, but the Tower of Babel happened.
What? How do you know? Did you read ahead? Is this your first time reading this? Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, but so that Avram is the one who listens to God, and God, like, sort of like the evolution of God's relationship with humanity allows God and Avram to now form this initial partnership that will lead to the Jewish people.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. What's that? Yeah, totally. That was excellent. That was very well put together. Yes, nice. You got a scholarship. Thank you. It's very nice. It's the Harry Scholarship. It's very nice. Thank you. Thank you. In shekels. Nice, nice. Is if 1, 2, 3 here. As $1.50. Good luck. Yeah, nice. Okay, so
We don't know really why.
it doesn't necessarily say. We only have the guesses, and because the Torah isn't linear and the Torah works in a cyclical concept, and because we've read this before, we do know that he is going to be a huge questioner. We know that he's going to push, and to go back to our story from last week, he's going to push harder than Noach pushed. So if you aren't a Noach fan, which it's not true for me, I'm a Noach fan, right? But if you're not a Noach fan, it's easy to go after Noach in this moment to say, well, not this one, but in the moments that they're leading up to, for sure, Sodom and Gomorrah, because it's the same thing. It's almost parallel. God says, I'm going to destroy the city. God says, I'm going to destroy the world. Noach says, okay, what do I do? And Abram says, are you sure you want to do this? Right? So maybe that's the differentiation between why Noach is Noach and Avram is Avram, hypothetically. Okay, so it says, Vayomer Adonai el Avram, and now there is a literary build-up. If you have Disney Plus, for instance, I haven't seen it yet, but I hear there's a great documentary on John Williams, who did all the music for like Indiana Jones and for Star Wars, and that there's this great story which I heard before, but I already saw like a clip that when he sat down with Steven Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg says, I want to make this movie about a shark, and I want there to be some good music, and John Williams brought him over to his house and said, I got it. And he sat him by the piano and he went, doo-doo, two notes. And Spielberg was like, did you hear what I said? I'm making a gigantic shark movie. I need you to make a music for it. I came over to your house and you went, you pressed 2 keys. I can press 2 keys. Why is this going to be such a huge thing? And by the way, was John Williams right? Yes, because it was that just those 2 keys are terrifying enough for you to like, and we know that it was maybe more important, those 2 keys, than the actual shark itself, was that doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. It brought you, why am I bringing this up? First of all, fun pitch for the movie, but also a John Williams fan. But it happens right here. John Williams appears for us right here without any special technology, because it says, Lech Lecha. So this section right here is designed, according to commentary, you'll go with it or you won't, I didn't write it, that there's a syllable build that's built into right here that builds up the drama for the moment on the decision whether Abram's going to actually follow through. So let's count syllables. How many syllables is Lech Lecha? Okay, now if you go to the next word after that, after Lech Lecha in the text, it goes to Me'artzecha. How many syllables is Me'artzecha? 4. And now if you go to the next word, which is Mimoladetcha. How many is that? So there is a literary build in here, according to a midrash, that, and then you keep going, by the way, mi beit avicha. How many is that? Again, and then el haaretz asher areka. That's now you flood the space with syllables. So it's as if it's like doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. And so there is this literary construct that even Avram is unsure about this, and there's this drama in this moment for us and for him and for God to see, like, all right, did I pick the right guy? Is it going to go? Are we going to do it? This is the big decision. Do-do, 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 do-do. And then he says, yeah, I'm going to do it. So there's this grammatical build-up in the construct of the words that commentators say is not a coincidence, that the language structure is there. Yes, Dr. Bob. I knew that, Dr. Bob, your hand would go up at this spot. I don't know why. I had like a premonition. Yes.
I'm seeing the process had already begun in the prior passage with his
Yeah.
That moving, I mean, to us as Americans, moving is, especially people who've come from the Northeast to come here, it's no big deal. But even in Europe, in certain small towns, people sometimes don't go more than 50 miles from their home.
Yeah.
And especially, and you know, if the father, if Terah, was an idol maker with a good business,
Yeah.
what's getting him to move?
Yeah.
So this is something that Abraham was set up to do.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. You're adding to it. Yeah, this is a huge deal.
Big deal.
Yeah, to be able to
Do it, so he had to be set up in his youth.
Yeah.
It's okay to do things like that.
Absolutely. And I'm sure everyone in this room has moved before. And first of all, moving in general is the most awful thing ever. And to move further away and to uproot where you live and friends or family, or it's just the whole thing is just yuck. And exactly. Now, that's even more so. Where is he going? Exactly. We're not going to show you. You're going to go. It's going to be okay. So even more so, really? Okay, I'm going to uproot myself in that one and then two. Yeah.
God is offering Abram a lot of incentive to do that. He's going to bless him, make a great nation out of him.
Yeah.
And pronounce doom on those who curse him.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty good deal. I mean, it is a pretty good deal to say, like, okay, look, if you do it, I got you, right? Okay. Or maybe he does. I mean, that's the thing. It's clearly he has, and then Harry, and then it's clearly he has a feeling of some kind because he grew up. Whether he was bowing to the idols or not, he grew up in an environment in which everyone was buying and bowing to the idols. That's what the only society he knew was that. And again, if we go along with the presumption that they were wealthy, it was probably a very large, very well-known shop, let's just say. Yeah, Harry.
So I did a search in ChatGPT.
Yes.
So we know it's got to be true.
Oh, okay, great. Okay.
And it reported what we're talking about, that Abram was not very happy with his family and with the split that he was getting from his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted more. He was challenging his question. So this proposition comes because it was satisfying his need for greed and avarice to get more, to have more, and be more. So greed was the motivating factor for Abram.
So, by the way, that is a possibility. It is a possibility. We don't love to think of him in that way, but we will see, by the way, in this Torah portion, if we get there, the second they enter Egypt, what's the first thing he does? He says to his wife, please lie and say that you're my sister. And then while she's in the harem, what's he doing, by the way? Making a lot of money. He's making a lot of money. The text actually tells us he's making a ton of money while she's in the harem, and he's like making it rain. He's making a lot of money. So yeah, so it could be. We don't know. I mean that he's a capitalist. That he's.
The article that I was reading kind of says that he wasn't such a good character. You know, that he sold out.
It's possible. Look, I mean, one of the first things we're going to find out, literally, one of the first things we'll find out about him, because we don't know his character, is that he is okay with telling his wife, I want you to say that you're my sister. And by the way, we'll look at the text, because it says, so things may go well for me. It says, things may go well for me. You are going to go into the harem, and I'm going to be great. So it's an interesting angle. It's an interesting angle. Yeah.
So earlier on, I don't even remember if you were the one who led this discussion about the evil inclination and the good in people.
Uh-huh.
And we said that if it weren't for the evil inclination, we wouldn't be adventuresome. We wouldn't discover things. So this is a good example of how, yeah, he might have been an evil inclination, but look what it made him do.
It's true. It's true. Maybe because he pushed himself in different ways, he pushed through something new because he had to see, because the whole world was doing one thing and he had to do a different thing. So someone who does that might not be the nicest person ever, but they have to break through something. So yeah, yes, 1 and then 2.
Yeah, not necessarily because he was taking his life because she was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And Pharaoh might have killed him.
Yes.
To take her on. So that's why he constructed, let's pretend you're my sister.
Absolutely. So that's also 100%. That's all 100% the possibility. And the usual response to this section is that, and the conversation that they had on the walk while they were getting closer and closer, or on the camelback, getting closer and closer to Egypt, that they had the dialogue, and to say like, well, you say that you're my sister, because otherwise they're going to kill me because you're beautiful. And she says, yeah, of course, I understand. That's the culture. So it's possible that all of that, the conversation from ChatGPT, hypothetically, is one version of it, and the other is like more of the very nice conversation that they had about the necessity to do it. Otherwise, the story would end because he'd be killed because she was beautiful.
Wasn't Sarah his cousin?
I didn't hear your question. Yes.
This continues, I guess, this theme for me of the evolution of humanity in a relationship with God, right? Like Noah doesn't question, Avram questions but does it, and then Avram's son Jacob deals with Esau.
Yeah.
Who's Jacob's a little bit better than Avram, and then Isaac is a little bit better than Jacob, and we finally
Or not, by the way, or not. So yeah, because Isaac is and Isaac, by the way, is a complicated character.
It's like 1% better.
Or not. I mean, Jacob is. By the way, Jacob is the grandson, right? And Jacob is. I understood what you meant. And Jacob, by the way, when Jacob and Esau have their scuffle, Esau says, by the way, I got Jacobed. It's a verb. He verbs it. He actually says, I got Jacobed into doing this. So, well, I don't know. This is why, by the way, the whole Torah is amazing, but this Genesis, there ain't nothing like Genesis, because it is so messy in here about relationships and conversations. It kind of reminds us of us a little bit. What will we do in these situations? How would we, advance our career to step on someone else's career? Do we do that? Do we not do that? I don't know. These are human. We're humans. So yes.
And there's also that relationship with God, because the Israelites actually kind of moved back and forth between monotheism, polytheism.
Yeah.
And they slept,
Yeah.
who were among other gods.
Yeah.
There's an it all kind of, it's kind of amazing it even comes out where it does.
Yeah, it does. It is a miracle that we come out the way that we come out, because it's true. How many times are we going to read in the story, meaning in the entire story of the Torah? How many times are we going to read that the Israelites slide back into this and slide back into that over and over and over, and they get punished, and then, oh yeah, we got it, and then slide back, and then how many times? So yes, nice, yes.
Yeah, I think what we're
You're next, Rob.
getting to here is the humanity of our heroes, our ancestors. Most ancient religions, the heroes, the progenitors of the religion were superheroes.
Right.
Were gods or
Right.
half-gods or that sort of thing. And that's what makes Torah so unique in the ancient cultures.
Beautiful. And we get it right from the beginning, by the way. Right, totally gold star. I mean, we find it literally from the origin story, from Adam and Eve. They're living in perfection, literal perfection, whatever that is. It was literally Eden. So whatever Eden was perfect. So out, right? And then we have the reset button with Noach. And could he not have pushed? And then we get to here, and even the origin story We get to figure out, was he really great? Was he more for about himself? And then this is why, by the way, the Torah is so good. It doesn't give us the emotion. It doesn't give us this is why some people believe that the dark in the Torah, meaning the print, is just as important as the blank space around it. Because the blank space around it allows us to have this dialogue and for us to say, just like Tevye, you're right and you're right. And then someone says, how can they both be right? And what's the answer? You're right too. So, right? So that's that interesting moment. Okay. Yes, Ron. This Ron. We got two Rons in here. So yeah, Ron.
So this very much reminds me of when asked where they're going, the so famous Yiddish expression, "Gehen weiter," is so typical of the way these people think at that time.
Yeah, go on a little bit.
No, we'll go further.
Right. Yeah. To take that it's not just lech lecha, it's like taking a next step further. You're saying? Okay. Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay. All right. We're on. We did a lot of chatting. We're on 4. 4? Is that where we are?
I have to continue on 5.
Oh, 5. Okay, great. Please.
Abram took his wife Sarai, his brother's son Lot, all the possessions they had amassed, and the people they had acquired in Haran.
Okay, so there you go. They're wealthy. They're well off. We don't know if they're super uber rich, but they have some money. Yes, go ahead.
They set forth for the land of Canaan, and they arrived in the land of Canaan. Abram then traversed the land as far as the sacred site of Shechem, as far as the oak of Moreh. At that time, the Canaanites were present in the land. The Eternal now appeared to Abram and said, I'm giving this land to your descendants. Abram then built an altar there to the Eternal who had appeared to him. From there, he moved on to the hill country east of Bethel. He pitched his tent between Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built another altar to the Eternal and called upon the name of the Eternal. And then Abram continued his journey toward the Negev.
All right, so the wandering starts. He agreed. I'm going. It's a lot of wandering, but he did all the wandering, and now we get to 10.
There was a famine in the land, and because the famine in the land was severe, Abram went down to stay in Egypt.
Okay, so why is this? Yes, all the way from over there to over there. And why is this interesting? What does this story sound familiar?
The Exodus story.
Exactly. The Exodus story is going to start in a very similar way, in that there was a famine in the land, and where did they go? Where there was food, went to Egypt. Okay.
When he had almost reached Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, Look now, I know what a beautiful woman you are. So when the Egyptians see you and say, This is his wife, they may kill me, but you they shall keep alive. Please say then that you are my sister, so that on your account it may go well for me, and that my life may be spared because of you.
Okay, so here's the moment. By the